Hi, this is Connor Boyle, and this is my studio production midterm. The first question was to explain the importance of the crew involved to successfully execute studio production. So there are 14 or 15 positions in this news studio we have, and each position has their own responsibilities. Obviously, they have the actual responsibilities of that position. For example, if you're the cameraman, you have to compose your shot, make sure the lighting is good, make sure the iris is open enough, make sure the camera's focused. Same goes for everyone in the control room. They all have things they have to do to make sure that their job is being done correctly. But for each person, they have the greater responsibility of staying on task, staying on track, and doing their part in order for the whole machine to work and run smoothly. So, for example, if the teleprompter, obviously before the show they have to go in and make the changes so all the text is correct, but during the actual show, if they're not going at the right speed, then the talents start to slow down when they're speaking, and pretty soon the whole show can be behind time, like 30 to 45 seconds. And obviously the goal of this class is to learn how to run a production in a timely manner, which would be appropriate for a professional level. So, what I'm basically saying is that for each of these positions, you need to perform up to task to make sure the whole production runs smoothly. That's probably the most important responsibility we all have. For the second question, it was to define the role of the director. So, obviously, the director has many roles. They have to help compose the shot, they have to make sure that everyone is ready to go. They tell the technical director what to put up. They tell the CG person when to ready different titles, and also the audio person when to open and close mics and turn on other sound. But I think the biggest role is probably to be watching the clock, and I think that's why there's an assistant director, because it's such an important part. But being able to keep one eye on the clock and one eye on the production at the same time in order to keep things moving at a timely pace, I think that's one of the most important things the director has to do. And obviously, it takes a strong level of multitasking, and it's something that we're all going to get to practice this year. Finally, the last question was, what have you learned about studio production at this point in the semester? For me, I think the best thing I've learned so far has been how to use all of the equipment in the control room. For example, even something as simple as a teleprompter, I didn't think I would need training on it, but once you actually use it, you realize that it's not quite as easy to operate as you thought, and that's something that I'm eager to get more practice with. Same goes for the technical director position and their responsibilities, and also the director. I think that being able to multitask and run a whole production like that is a really valuable skill. It gives you some leadership, and just experience in this field is something that's probably pretty hard to get once we graduate. So being able to do this now and learn here, I'm really valuing that. That's all I have for my midterm. Thanks for listening.